Hello, thank you for watching this video. This is a Dharma talk I hope is going to be included in the Arizona Buddhist Temple service. But if you don't attend the Arizona Buddhist Temple, you can watch this anyway if you want to. And I certainly thank the members of the Arizona Buddhist Temple for all the support and kindness they have shown me. I want to speak briefly this morning about this concept that there are many paths to the truth. We say in the Buddha Dharma, 84,000 paths to the truth. There are more than one way, there is more than one way to encounter that which is true and real. And again, we say 84,000 paths, there may be well more than that. There are 84,000 ways of awakening to the deep truth of our lives. But not all of them will work for you, I suspect. Not all of them work for me. For reasons I won't elaborate, of the 200 living schools of Buddhism, Soka Gakkai International would not work for me. I'm a very intellectual guy, wouldn't work for me. Probably anything else. Of the 200 schools or so that survive of the Buddha Dharma here on this planet, they're all good teachings, but even I can only maybe do 199 out of 200 of them. I started, of course, in Soto Zen, as many of you know, where I lacked a temple, a sangha, I lacked an embutsu, I lacked a library, and when I encountered the Fresno Betsuin, the Jodo Shinshu tradition, I had a library, I had some ministers, some highly trained Buddhist Dharma teachers, I had a community to share it with, and I was given this Nembutsu teaching that I had heard before but had not really understood, that the simple saying of the Buddha's name can be the presence of that which is sacred, true, and transformative, good and real. Namo Amida Butsu. I rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life, or in Sino-Japanese, Namo Amida Butsu, or Namu Amida Butsu, or Kimyo, Jinjipo, Mugiko, Nyorai. These are the ways in which, in our stream of tradition, we encounter the sacred, contact that which is positive, good, and transforming, Amida Buddha's promise for all of us. Nonetheless, even though this teaching is so wonderful, the Jodo Shinshu school of Pure Land Mahayana Buddhism, had I had those resources, a temple, a sangha, when I was a Zen Buddhist in Fresno, I probably would have been perfectly happy to stay where I was. There are 84,000 gates to the truth, right? We believe that, there's more than that. But you know what? It's fatuous to say so. It's pointless and puerile to say so if you don't walk through one of those gates. There are a number of ways to lose weight. You know, some of you know I lost about 40 pounds 4 years ago, called the Gibbs diet, eat less food. But you could specifically limit your fast. I had a friend that lost a lot of weight that way. You could specifically avoid carbohydrates. People lose weight that way. You could exercise yourself to death. And I know I have one friend that lost a whole lot of weight doing exercise, so that's not usually the easiest way. Point is, you can lose weight several different ways, but you got to do one of those things. The same thing is true spiritually and religiously. There are many good religions. There are many valid forms of the Buddha Dharma. There are 84,000 Buddha gates, 84,000 gates into the Buddha Dharma, but we must walk through one of them. You must seriously engage with them for them to transform you, religious teachings. So I hope that many of you will continue to find this Jodo Shinshu gateway engaging and continue to follow this path with us. If it starts to not click for you, try some other options. If you have to go out and come back in another gate, go out and come back in another gate. That's okay too. But again, it's puerile and pointless to say there are 84,000 gates to the truth if you're not walking through one of them. So for just now, you may want to walk through this Nembutsu gate with me. According to the Jodo Shinshu stream of Pure Land Mahayana tradition, according to the Hongan Jihad tradition I've been trained in, according to the vision that's been opened out for me by Dennis Rota and Kakwe Miyagi most especially, I am going to say the Buddha's name, and I hope some of you will walk through this gate with me at the end of this video by dedicating 20 seconds to saying the Buddha's name aloud. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Mirabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namo Mirabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namo Mirabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namo Mirabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namo Mirabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namo.
Hi, good morning. This is Lynn Sugiyama, speaking on behalf of the Arizona Buddhist Temple. I want to thank you, all of you, for listening to me on this Dharma in the Desert channel on YouTube. Let's begin with the reading of the names for the Mei Shotsuki Hoyo. This is the time that we remember our loved ones who passed away during this month of May. So let's put our hands together as I read the names. This is in memory of Akiharu A, Frederick C, Mia F, Yone I, Robert I, Toshio Jason K, Sam Isamu K, Chieko K, Kikutaro K, Kioe K, Sumako K, Marilyn L, George M, Katsumi Charlie M, Harold Tomonobu M, K M, Warren M, Akiko M, Jinbei M, in memory of Kiyomi M, Yoshiyuki M, Kiyoshi N, Kenji T, Katsu T, Jinsuke Y, Tamagoro Y, and Yasuji M. Please join me in Gasho. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu. Let their light and the light of Amida Buddha always shine upon us as we remember all the good things that they did for us when they were alive, and as we honor them for the Shotsuki Hoyo. Will you please join me in Gasho again? I'll start the Dharma talk with the reading of the writing from Shinran Shonin's Wasan, Hymns of the Pure Land. Shinjin, that is the inconceivable working of the power of the vow of Amida Buddha, is none other than the mind aspiring for great enlightenment. The evil spirits that abound in heaven and earth all hold in awe the person who has attained it. Please join me in Gasho. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu. Again, I wish you all a good morning. I hope that all of you are safe and healthy. And again, thank you for listening to me on this YouTube channel. So today, we remember our loved ones for this Mei Shotsuki Hoyo. You know, it's not easy to lose our loved ones, the people that we love the most. And I hope their lives inspire you as you live day to day. And we honor the life that they lived and the things that they taught us when they were alive. Today is also Mother's Day. And so I wish all the mothers and grandmothers there a happy Mother's Day. You know, I was just thinking about my own mother. She passed away some 6 years ago. And so I am very grateful for the many things that she taught me and my two sisters. And we still miss her very much. But I know that she is alive in my heart and in my mind. So I hope that for today, all of you are able to do something special for your mother, your grandmother, and to always remember that not only for today is Mother's Day, but I think every day is something that we always honor and cherish for our mother and grandmother. One of the important teachings I like to teach today is this Shin Buddhist idea of shinjin. So shinjin in Japanese means the sincere heart and mind of entrusting to Amida Buddha's vow or promise. So Amida Buddha, he made this promise that when all of us say his name, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha, when we say it in gratitude, we are able to attain birth in the Pure Land. And it is there that we are able to attain enlightenment, to become enlightened beings, to become Buddhas. So when we hear and say Namo Amida Butsu, we entrust in this meaning. To better understand this concept of shinjin, I want to first talk about horses. So horses are great animals. When I was growing up in Colorado, I was able to ride several horses. And so the horse I remember riding was very tall and beautiful. And I remember when I was sitting on the horse, I was sitting very high off the ground. And so when you're sitting very high on the horse, you're able to see everything around you, all the surroundings that you're able to see instead of being at ground level. And so I always remember being very happy sitting on the horse. But I also remember once I got off the horse, my legs were very sore. So the question I want to ask is, do you think a horse can be a Dharma teacher for you? Well, I have a story I want to share about how a horse helped a man understand Buddhism better. So once upon a time, there was a farmer. His name was Genza, and he lived in this very small village in Japan. And he was a very devout Shin Buddhist. So growing up in Japan, working in Japan as a farmer, he would take his horse and gather grass and tie it up, and he would put it on his back to take it back to his village in the mountain. So one day when he was doing this, gathering grass with his horse, he grew very tired and he couldn't put it on his back. So he decided to put the two stacks of grass onto his horse. And then he realized something very profound. He discovered that the grass that he gathered is much like the selfish desires, the greed, the anger, stupidity, his karmic conditions that get him into trouble. And so his greed, his anger, his stupidity grew very heavy on him. So much like the stack of grass, he needed a strong horse to help him. And then Genza realized that the horse is much like Amida Buddha. So Amida Buddha is always willing to carry any burden that the farmer Genza had trouble carrying. And so, a horse needs to eat grass in order to become a strong horse. And Amida Buddha, he carries Genza's heavy, karmic burden, all his delusions, and Amida Buddha absorbs it. He eats it up to become the Amida Buddha, this source of enlightenment. So Genza realized that he could not attain enlightenment by himself. He couldn't become a Buddha on his own effort. But he had to rely on Amida Buddha's vow, and it was easier to rely on. It was easier to say Namo Amida Butsu. So Amida Buddha, he's always there to relieve our burdens, our karma conditions that make us suffer. So when we sincerely believe in Amida Buddha, he will lift our karmic burdens for us. So this is the meaning of Genza's Shinjin. It is the meaning of Genza's understanding of the entrusting heart and mind. So later in Genza's life, he became known as a Myokonin. This translates as an excellent person of the Buddhist faith. And throughout his life, Genza was a very wise and devout follower of the Shin Buddhist teachings. So as you can see, Genza's horse helped him to understand the Amida Buddha and Shinjin. So Genza's horse became what was called a Zen Jishiki, a good spiritual teacher for Genza. And so for me, I have really good teachers that help me to understand the Buddhist teachings also. My professors at the Institute of Buddhist Studies, Gibbs Sensei, people like Fan Sensei, Michael Sensei, and also the members of the Arizona Buddhist Arizona Buddhist Temple. They all help me to learn the Buddhist teachings better. So when I listen to Shinran Shoni's teachings, this helps me to reflect upon my own life, and I understand this entrusting heart, this Shinjin better. And I hope that through this story that you're able to understand Shinjin a little better too. So in my earlier reading from Shinran Shoni's Wasan, Shinjin blooms within us when we sincerely believe in the promise made by Amida Buddha. When we say Namo Amida Butsu, we aspire to become enlightened just like the Amida Buddha. And we are able to transcend our mind that's filled with greed, anger, and stupidity. So when you're able to gain this Shinjin, this true and trusting, then other followers will respect and follow you because you have transcended this life of delusions and into the realm of peace and bliss. So I hope that you and I, we follow in this great Nimbutsu path, and we are able to achieve the Shinjin that Shinran Shoni teaches us. So for this Meisho Tsuki Hoyo, let's remember our loved ones. Let's remember today, and that they remind us that through their passing, they have come back to this world to help us learn the Buddhist teaching better. And I want to thank all the mothers and grandmothers there and wish them a happy Mother's Day. So everyone, please be safe and healthy. I hope to see you again. Please join me in Gasho. This is the reading from Shinran Shoni's Wasan, Hymns of the Pure Land. Shinjin, that is the inconceivable working of the power of the vow of Amida Buddha, is none other than the mind aspiring for great enlightenment. The evil spirits that abound in heaven and earth all hold in awe the person who has attained it. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you for listening.